Yeah, you can't be 44 with 5,000 worth of savings.
Exactly. And
That
so
could be one major thing that happens and wipes you out.
and that's concerning to me. So when I'm thinking about the reality of how you do life on a routine basis and then prepare for your future at the same time, ultimately, as the generation before, in my mind, I'm thinking we actually have a responsibility to them, to those who come after us, to help wake them up and show them the reality of what is ahead. And if they are our children, we need to guide them on that path so that they are not without what they need. Welcome. This is For Better and Worth,
The podcast where we don't believe you have to sacrifice your relationship while you grow and build your net worth.
We are your hosts.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Ericka Young, and we're so glad you're joining us today.
All right, y'all, let's get into it.
Hey, babe. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful.
Look at you with the smile. You're wonderful, huh?
Yes.
You slept 7 hours.
I feel pretty good.
You said you slept 7 hours straight.
Yes.
And I no longer know what that feels like.
Well, I needed that because I've been on the grind a little bit.
You have. I'm always glad when you sleep because sleep is important. And I'll get 7 in fragments.
Yeah.
I gotta be in the bed for 8 hours to get 7 hours of sleep.
I laid down and I was like, night, boom.
Good.
I was gone.
I'm glad. I'm glad for you.
Yep. So, feeling good.
I love that for you. I love that for you.
I'm glad you're happy for me.
I am. I feel like that makes for a better day.
Yeah.
It really does. So
it's for a better day until I wake up hype and you like, okay, now calm down.
when you're on one, when you wake up and you on one, that's a different experience. Today was kind of smooth. We just kind of got in our groove and did our thing, but yeah. When you on one, it's a different.
I'm chilling today.
I appreciate that because hype Chris is
I'm
interesting.
I'm chilling right now.
Yes. So
we're gonna get off into some interesting topics today.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about these younger generations, specifically millennials and Gen Z. So
we're speaking from a point of experience, considering that we have one of each.
Mm-hmm. Well, technically, I think our daughters
on the tail end. One is on the tail end of millennial.
Yeah.
At the beginning of Gen Z, and one is definitely a Gen Zer.
That's right. And so it's
a little bit of both.
Yeah. But they enter the money conversation differently.
Yes.
And so that and by that I mean twofold. One is these younger generations, their priorities are different than ours were when we were that age. And our kids, who are 4 years apart, they navigate finances differently.
The two of them, very differently. But you know what? Before we even get into them, I don't know. I got to go back and sound like an old head for a minute.
Okay.
Because I'll be like, man, you can have this new wave, this new fandangled way of thinking.
Did you say fandangled?
Yes. You can have this new way of thinking because we laid a foundation.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes that gets lost in translation that the Gen X, we were the hustle generation, we're coming off of the boomers that, everybody know the boomers were doing their thing, but we were latchkey kids. We were, I had my first job at 14.
We practically raised ourselves.
Right. So it's like we were an interesting, generation. And they talk about, don't wake the sleeping giants because, we did a lot of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And we wanted to make things better for our children.
Better and easier.
Right. And so then when you consider how we evolved and tried to create opportunity for them, I feel like they walking in like with, beach towels and beach bags and sunglasses. Like, where's the cabana?
Listen, so case in point, okay, in my family growing up, I came from single parent household. My parents were divorced when I was less than 10. And so money was tight on both ends. Our vacation, our idea of a vacation, I remember like one of the most fun vacations that we had was we drove to Niagara Falls.
Right.
And it was a long weekend and we saw the falls and we did the
And
things.
Niagara Falls was close to Michigan, so it
Correct.
wasn't
Just over
like,
the border, right?
yeah.
So this was a fairly, not, I won't say short drive, but like it was a couple of hour drive. And mom took us there and it was just memorable. That was the vacation that was stand out in my mind growing up. We always went to like the amusement parks and things like that.
Hmm.
But the point I'm making is that this was a few $100s for my mother and my sister and I to go on a longer weekend vacation. I don't ever remember going on a week-long vacation, and it was never somewhere tropical. It was never astronomical. It was simple, hotel stay and driving distance. And that was the idea of vacation. And so, in an effort to do better or make life easier for our kids, and we wanted to give them more than we had, my experience is now we've taken them on and we've shared it on this
Right.
podcast. We've
They've gone
taken them
all
on.
around. They're on their second passports.
They have been to several places around the world with
Right.
us on our dime. And last year our trip was 2 weeks. So when
2 weeks out of the country.
yes, so when we think about what we're giving them in terms of an experience, they now expect the experience instead
Yes.
of, oh my gosh, this is amazing. They're like, okay, what big huge place are we going to next?
Yeah. And it's funny you talk about like your early trips and childhood memories, because I didn't get on a plane for the first time until I was 15.
Mhm.
And me and my mom, we took a trip from Detroit to LA.
That's a big distance though.
Right. But that was the first time we'd ever been on a plane. And we went to see my great grandmother. And we weren't staying in hotels. We were staying at my aunt, my aunt Betty Jean's house. And we were staying at my great grandma's place. And we were like in the spare rooms, and so it was like they had space for us to come and visit. But that was the first time I went on a plane, and now you talk about the experience that our kids have had on multiple trips, which is a blessing. And so then when they start to enter the workforce, their priorities are shifting. They want to be happy, which I think everybody should want to be happy. And I don't want to sound like, well, you should just work in misery
Suck it
and
up.
make money.
Suck it up.
But we were young when we had kids. We were young when we were married, so we really had to just lean in because we had a family to provide for at the ages our kids are now.
Right. But like we went to work and we were thankful. I
Yeah,
think this is a key difference. We went to work and we're thankful for the job. We
because
did,
we have been told go to school, get a job.
yeah, and so we saw the job itself as not, we earned it, right? But we also we respected, that's what the word is. We respected the job and we knew that not everybody had that
That
kind of a
same
job.
opportunity, yeah.
Yeah, and so but now kids, and I will also say ours, they see job as okay, yeah, I got to do it, but
It's a means to an end.
they're not in that spirit of gratefulness or respect. They feel like the job should serve them and their purposes and their
Well,
needs.
I'm gonna speak for our kids. They not here, so I'm gonna stand in and fill in the
Are you going to say
gap.
something different than what I just said?
So I think one definitely felt that way, but it's coming to a realization that okay, well, maybe I should be more thankful. I think she's starting to understand, like, man, I am in a good spot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I might not be 100% happy, but I am blessed.
It's taken her three
Yeah, it's
years
taken
in her
several
first job
years. Yeah,
to get to the place where that gratefulness has sprung up and she
right,
understands not everybody has this.
right. Our second child, you know, she's about to enter the workforce. I think she's a little more like, wow, okay, this is a great opportunity because she's surrounded by people who are getting similar types of opportunities. It's highly competitive. And so she sees when people are struggling to get the same opportunity that she's secured.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that provides a little bit perspective sooner
Mm-hmm.
to say, okay, well, you know, not everybody's getting this chance to do what I'm able to do right now. And even the job that she's going to go into is a little different than some of the other friends that she have that have similar jobs. The demands are a little bit different. And so she's kind of like, okay, I think it caused her to, you know, have that, you know, that aha moment, you know, early on.
And I think she also sees her sister and
Yes.
the experience that she has.
She's been able to watch.
Right. She's
Yep.
watching on the sidelines of her sister's life and like, okay, it's not everything she wanted it to be, but she's still in a good spot.
That's a
And
good point.
yeah, and
That experience has been a good instructor for her.
exactly. And so that's the advantage that she has. And I think on a broad scale, if we can, as guides at this phase when our kids are out of high school, let's say, and they're making choices in their life, be it college, working, whatever it is that they're doing, relationships, like we're the guide. We can know we're not in a place to tell them what to do all the time anymore. There sometimes they're going to bump up against that at that age. And so if we're guiding them, we need to help them to see the difference between where they are and what, how the rest of the world may not live like that, and also what it looks like to keep up with a career or their financial lives or what have you, and how that contributes to like the bigger picture. That's a part of our role at that phase. Again, we're not in a place where we're telling them you have to go do this or you have to go do that, because they will absolutely push up against that. But if we can understand that the experiences that we give them versus the experience that everybody else has, and maybe they're not, maybe, broadly, not everybody has been able to give the kind of experiences that we give to our kids. But because of social media and the access to see what everybody is doing is available, people see all of it.
I think that's where I was thinking is there's a lot of other things that are influencing the way that the millennials and Gen Zers approach money
Yeah.
and spending and just perspective in general, where, you know, we're entering the post COVID phase, the post pandemic, where, you know, it's return to office, and a lot of companies are putting that back in place,
Right now.
and that is a big deal with a lot of people, like having issues, you know, going back to work.
I actually
And
have a friend who is a leader in her organization, and she's already got somebody who's quitting because she's like, I can't go in, I'm not going in. And
yes,
then our daughter she has had to shift. She's meal prepping so that for the week that
three
she's ready,
days,
because she's got
yeah.
to go back into the office 3 days.
And it's funny how we were in the office 5 days a week, and now people are like 3 days a week. Oh my god! And it is different, but I think that is sculpting the way that millennials and Gen Zers are viewing things, because it's like that's creating a shift, because like some kids graduated during the pandemic, you know, high school and college, and they had a totally a different experience with
Mm-hmm.
like school for the last year or two and
Mm-hmm.
graduations, and they were starting college like remote, which was weird. And so now just it's so many things that have impacted,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the way they approach money and experiences, and they're putting experiences ahead of just money, or it's reshaping really a lot of their thought process.
Yeah, it is. And they have to document it. Like it
I
it
swear
if
we're in
it
a
doesn't
social media
it
culture.
it doesn't exist if they didn't put it on social media.
It's so funny. It's so funny you talking about things not existing.
What?
Because if you don't have your fitness tracker on
You right.
and you go do a full
You know
workout,
what? Be
you
quiet.
like, it don't count.
I did. I was at
It
the.
wasn't on my fitness
Oh
tracker.
my gosh, that happened to me like 2 weeks ago. I was like, I left my watch. Oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? It's almost like
It still counted. You
it's
worked out. Your
it's
body felt it.
right. It's as if the watch isn't on, my muscles weren't working.
Right.
Right? Like,
Right. If
oh
you
my
can't go back
God.
and look at your device and see, oh yeah, well I did this and this was my, muscular overload, blah blah blah.
Literally.
Right. It's so funny how these devices have us.
And even when I go on a walk, every time, even if it's a leisure walk,
You like, okay, you like, let me.
I put on the walk. I want to see the amount of calories burned. I want to see how far I've gone. I
Yeah.
want to see.
There's nothing wrong with the stats
No, but
and getting the statistics, but you have to get away from like letting that be the thing that just dictates. Because it's the same thing with
yeah,
the millennials and Gen Zers. Sometimes you have to fast from social media so you don't see what everybody else is saying, because you don't know what's on the other side of that. You don't know how much of that is authentic, how much of that is staged. And so you can't use that as a barometer for your life.
it's the highlight reel. So they want the experiences and all the things because they see people sharing those. But when people are sharing, it's the highlight reel.
Yeah.
And I now do much more sharing a few times a week for business purposes. But personally, I don't really share anymore. And my life is still full,
Yeah.
right? There's still a lot going
It's
on.
still, things are still happening.
Yes, it's not like
Just because they're not on social media doesn't mean that they're not
right.
occurring.
But I don't think that the millennials and Gen Zs see it that way.
Yeah.
And so I do like our oldest, she actually did do a fast for a hot second. And I appreciate it when people express that, I'm off social media for 30 days. And because it's a vortex, it can
Yeah,
be
it can
a
be.
place where you're wasting time, and the comparison game is very large on social media. You wonder if you measure up, or if your life is good enough. And they're posting all of the great things. They're not really posting
I start
the
having
negative
to,
things.
I have to check my sources, because I may see something on social media that was a reel or a clip or something, and then I may try and reference it, and I was like, man, was that a news source or was that a reel? Like, is it a validated source that I can quote?
Where am I getting my information?
Right. And so I have to shift. So I have to make sure I broaden my information channels, so it comes across those multitude of channels that I've curated as, validated sources. But I think a lot of the millennials and Gen Zs are choosing to buy and spend in different ways than we chose to buy
For
and
sure.
spend. We got married, and early on we got pregnant, and we wanted to buy a home. We were like subscribing to that quote unquote American dream, buy a home, be a homeowner. And though we didn't have a picket fence, we had
We
a
had a
stone
brick-
wall.
we
had a
did, we
brick
did.
wall. But that's what we were doing. And they're like, look, I don't know if I want to be anchored to a mortgage. And we're like, well, there's value, that's how you build wealth. And they're like, well, right now I just want to be able to travel, or have these different experiences.
Let's talk about the experiences, because it's a lot of them. It's travel, it's dining, it's concerts, these kinds of activities that take money to attend. So what it is the attention, the financial attention that could be made in other areas. Like when we were younger, we were saving for a house. They're putting those hundreds or thousands of dollars towards these festivals and sporting events and all the things and posting them on social media and all got to have the outfits and got to have, all the stuff that comes along with that. And
Kids a lot of tattoos.
Oh Lord.
I was like, I did not know how much tattoos cost.
Oh my gosh. And it's the experience. And so it's like, wow, when I think about that. And our daughter, she's like, yeah, I'm not ready to buy a house. And partially is because some of the stuff she's saving up for is experiences. One of her friends got married, and the bridal experience, the bridal shower experience, was a trip out of the country for like 11 ladies.
I was like, when did they start doing that?
And that's now a thing. I had a bridal shower at
your
like
aunt's house.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Just at somebody's house, somebody baked some spaghetti or whatever it was, and we had this
paper
shower
plate with the bowls on it.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Did all the old traditional
games.
Bridal shower games.
Yes. And they are taking a plane and going somewhere else. And even bachelor parties they are going away. And Nashville is a big city for that kind of stuff. People are...
They call it Nash Vegas.
Yeah, they are going and they have the veils on and they are just going and spending the money to go have this experience. It never was a thought across my mind in those first several... In my 20s, these were not things that I was thinking about at all.
But they're also thinking about wellness too, Like we growing up, we weren't getting like mental health, or we weren't doing therapy, or I played football, and my coach was like, boy, it's all right, get back in there. I remember I was in Little League and I had a finger and it was broken and it was like this. It was like finger was pointing a whole different direction, and coach, let me see it. I think he might have broke it further because it had a finger fractured in two places. But I was still trying to go play in the game.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. But they do that. Well, anyway, they do that in football.
Yeah,
they do that in football.
Football is different.
It is very barbaric.
Tape your fingers together and it'll be all right.
Football is barbaric.
Yeah.
It is really. Anyway, that's a whole nother subject.
Different story.
It is. But they are, facials and massages and retreats and all the things. Like, I never thought of this stuff when I was that age. Yeah. Period. Hands down. And my concern as a parent and as a person who is in Generation X is I want these young people to still take care of themselves and also take care of their future. Because guess what?
Still be making preparation for the future.
I don't want you to boomerang back into my house. I don't want you, because it concerns me. Like, they're very socially active. They're very, they're change makers. These generations are. Yeah. But if you don't prioritize your money, because they will not have any. There are some people in our generation who will have like a pension. They're not going to have it at all. And if they don't prioritize saving, then they're going to be in a world of hurt. And that concerns me, that they're spending all of their money on experiences today without an eye for the future. Why? They're not going to be what?
They're not going to be in a world of hurt.
Why?
Because the baby boomers are about to make the biggest transition of wealth.
To us, though.
From one generation to the next.
To us.
Right.
Right.
So, we are the responsible generation.
Mm-hmm.
So, if the baby boomers are going to make the biggest transfer of wealth from them to us,
right,
we're not going to squander that wealth.
Right.
So, when we pass on, where's that money going to go?
Well, that's up to us.
I know, but it's going to go to the millennials and the Gen Zers.
It could. But if I had a kid, I don't believe I have this child, but if I had a kid who was irresponsible with money, they will not get that money.
Yeah, you might make that choice, but I mean, I'm being facetious in saying this, but
no, I think that's real. But also, you and I are getting no money transfer.
Yeah, there's no transfer.
There's no money coming to us.
We're creating what will be.
We're creating it for the first time in our generation, but
I threaten them like, look, you better keep your life right because I'll change the trust.
You say this is my money. This ain't your money.
Right. You don't have no money.
Right. Like
I'm still here.
you didn't earn this. This my money. What you talking about?
Exactly.
But some people make the choice to donate their money. Like,
Yes.
who is it?
Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett. It was like, you ain't getting this money. Y'all better go work for it.
Warren Buffett said, you better go find your way. I'll put you through college.
I think that's wild. I don't think that I would be that strict or rigid with
No,
it.
I mean, if I was Warren Buffett, clearly I would take care of my kids and my family. But, hey, he's trying to make sure that they are responsible people, too, because it takes me back to that Malcolm Gladwell book, David and Goliath, and they talk about the inverse U curve and where there's a point where you can make too much money.
Mm-hmm.
And I told you, I saw something on Instagram, and there's this story out there, and a billionaire and his daughter, like, and how she spends money, like, just
Crazy.
recklessly. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't want that to be my story either, no matter how much money I have, because I want to raise good functioning individuals that know and can appreciate, the blessings that they have.
Mm-hmm. And so there's two statistics. I'm a statistic girl. One is that really got me to thinking about this was that 3 in 5 young people in these age groups spend a considerable amount of money on experiences. So that's 60%. And the other statistic that I thought was interesting is that millennials have a hard time saving money. And on average, they only have around $5,000 in quote unquote emergency savings. And millennials go up to age 44.
Yeah, you can't be 44 with 5,000 worth of savings.
Exactly. And
That
so
could be one major thing that happens and wipes you out.
and that's concerning to me. So when I'm thinking about the reality of how you do life on a routine basis and then prepare for your future at the same time, ultimately, as the generation before, in my mind, I'm thinking we actually have a responsibility to them, to those who come after us, to help wake them up and show them the reality of what is ahead. And if they are our children, we need to guide them on that path so that they are not without what they need. And I'm thankful that both of our girls actually have more than $5,000 in savings because we have been on that journey with them to help guide them.
We have input into them some fundamental factors that they have embraced.
Yeah.
While they're still doing some of these same things that we're talking about, I think the big things that they've aligned with us on. The need to create, savings for the future and an emergency fund for now and, have a budget. They've embraced those things. And now it's a way of life for them. And I see them influencing their friends and their generation. And when you talk about change makers, they're change makers in a small way, just in their local circles, because I do think that their friends look at them and see that they're different, and they have a knowledge that some of their friends don't have.
Yeah, you're right. And both of our girls, because they're different personalities. One is a spender and one is a saver. And
but the spender can lock it down and start to save.
She can.
When she really wants to get.
Yes.
She wants to do something. She's like, hold on, I'm not doing this or this.
Yep.
And she told me this the other day.
Huh.
Her friends were asking her to go somewhere or do something, and she was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to pass this time.
Wow.
Because I need to be at home. I need to meal prep. I got to be in the office all week. And she stayed home and prepared for the upcoming week.
That's adult behavior.
Versus going someplace with her friends to have some fun. I was like, watch out now. Watch out now.
That's taking your career seriously.
She said, because I told you, like, the shift is taking place. She was like, you know what? I need to lock in. And that blew my mind. I was like, okay. And I didn't overreact. I was just like, look at you, doing what you got to do. You got to make it work. But I was like, dang, look at you.
You wanted to do the holy dance in the background, didn't you? That's a proud dad moment because we're still parenting in a new way, even though they're not under our roof all the time anymore. And that is huge when you can see them take hold of important principles like value your career. So prepare your mind so that during the week you can be fully present.
Look,
That's a big deal.
I have learned the value of money over time and, interest, and just I've learned that anything when given time can develop and grow.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've come to the realization that all I got to do is just give them time and wait and let them get there at their own pace.
That requires patience.
On my part, and having, lived and matured and experienced myself, patience is the thing that I feel like I have more of now when it comes to them, because I'm like, you know what? Just give it time. Don't overreact. Don't get high, don't get low. Just let them come to the revelation on their own, and they will get there.
I love that. Yep. So I got this idea about how to make it worth it. For Better and Worth was birthed because we believe that couples can have both a better relationship and build their net worth at the same time. And I think that in this regard and what we're talking about, we need to share and show millennials and Gen Zs that they can have both an experience up to a healthy boundary and preparation for the future as well, right? So they can have fun today and save for tomorrow at the same time. So
Both
they can
things are possible.
Both are possible. It doesn't have to be either or, but you need to have a healthy boundary around it. You have a limited amount of money that comes in on a routine basis. And as long as it's within that boundary healthily, you can do both. And I think that that's why our child, who is the spender, has embraced a balance, is because she's a budgeter now. Mm-hmm. She has learned to put it in the budget, see how long she needs to save for something so that she's not dipping into a 401k or her emergency fund or whatever, and what she can say no to, what she can say yes to. That comes from budgeting. And so helping people to see that they can have both with the plan is what this podcast is all about, but what will be helpful for next generations to understand how to be successful with their finances. So that's my make it worth it. Do you have one?
I don't think I need to follow that up with anything else.
Come on. For Better and Worth, we're here.
But there it is. So, I think this was a good conversation.
Yes, and it's good.
Give things time, they will grow.
Yeah.
And this is no different. So
yeah, I think that if we can see the value for ourselves and for others, then that's just a more powerful legacy to leave, in my opinion. So this has been good.
Keep tuning in. Keep pressing that like and subscribe. And until next time,
we're out.
Thank you for spending some of your time with us today.
We appreciate all of your support. So be sure to subscribe, rate, and review us wherever you listen to this podcast.
You can find us on Instagram at For Better and Worth.
And sign up to receive our free guide, The 7 Reasons Your Money Relationship Isn't Working with Your Partner, on ForBetterandWorth.com.
Until next time, we're out of here.